Nuremberg celestial phenomenon. On April 14th, 1561, residents of Nuremberg, a prosperous city in the heart of the Holy Roman Empire, gazed skyward, witnessing a scene that would puzzle historians, scientists, and enthusiasts for centuries to come. The event was meticulously documented in a local broadsheet newspaper. The report, accompanied by a woodcut illustration, portrayed an incredible aerial battle with spheres, cylinders, and crosses, all of varying sizes, darting through the sky. Some objects appeared to crash to the ground, engulfed in smoke, while others seemed to simply fade away. The sky, according to eyewitnesses, was ablaze with a myriad of colors. Hans Glaser, the woodcut artist, took great pains to capture this incredible scene. His depiction has become one of the most iconic and frequently referenced pieces of evidence in discussions surrounding ancient UFO encounters. The accompanying text in the broadsheet tried, with bewilderment, to provide a factual account of what the city's residents had witnessed. Many theories have been proposed to explain the Nuremberg event. Some argue it might have been an unusual display of atmospheric optical phenomena, perhaps an extraordinary formation of sun dogs, halos of light caused by the refraction of sunlight by icy crystals in the atmosphere. Others believe the depiction of objects crashing and the resultant smoke suggests meteor showers or space debris. Such an event could cause mass hysteria, where shared stress or excitement cause groups to see or believe they've witnessed extraordinary events. Given the profoundly religious nature of the time, many considered the spectacle a divine sign or warning. The 16th century was marked by religious turmoil, especially in Central Europe. The Protestant Reformation was in full swing, and fears of divine judgment ran high. The broadsheet itself mentioned the event as a possible religious sign, urging the people of Nuremberg to repent. For those inclined toward the idea of ancient alien visitors, the Nuremberg event is a key piece of quote-unquote evidence. The description of an aerial battle fits neatly into the narrative of interstellar visitors engaging in skirmishes in our atmosphere. Despite these theories, no consensus has been reached on what truly transpired that April morning. Dropout Stones. In 1938, an expedition led by Chinese archaeologist Dr. Chi Pu Te into the Bayanhar Mountains of the Qinghai region made an astonishing discovery. Inside a series of artificially carved caves, the team found neatly arranged graves. The skeletal remains in these tombs were strange. They had abnormally large heads and slender bodies, not matching any known human or primate forms. But even more intriguing were the 716 stone discs, about 12 inches in diameter, each with a hole in the middle, resembling ancient gramophone records. Upon closer inspection, these discs, which later became known as the Dropout Stones, revealed spiral grooves. Initially believed to be natural patterns or decorative engravings, further studies led to even more baffling findings. When the grooves were magnified, tiny hieroglyphic-like markings were observed. In the 1960s, Professor Sum Nui of the Beijing Academy for Ancient Studies claimed he had successfully translated the inscriptions. According to his translation, the discs told a tale of the Dropout people, a race of extraterrestrial beings who crash-landed in the Bayankara Ula Mountains 12,000 years ago. Unable to repair their ship, they tried to adapt to life on Earth. When Professor Sum Nui went public in 1962, his findings were ridiculed, leading him to exile and an untimely death in Japan. The stones gained renewed attention in 1968, when Russian scientist Vyacheslav Zaitsev examined them. The tests, as described in the Soviet magazine Sputnik, indicated that these stones might have once possessed electrical properties. Additionally, he found that the granite stones contained high levels of cobalt and other metals, which would have been difficult for primitive humans to engrave. By 1974, Austrian engineer Ernst Wegerer allegedly saw 2 of the discs in the Banpo Museum. Yet, the hieroglyphics could not be captured when he photographed them due to the camera flash. 2 decades later, the mystery deepened when German scientist Hartwig Hausdorff was told that the stones had been destroyed, and the existence of a Dropout tribe went unacknowledged by Chinese authorities. Skeptics have drawn parallels between the Dropout stones and the ancient Chinese bee discs. These flat, circular jade discs with a hole in the center date back nearly 5,000 years and have been found at numerous Neolithic sites. Used in rituals and ceremonies, bee discs are iconic artifacts of ancient China and could have been reasonably found at the supposed site of the Dropout Stones. Anunnaki. Amidst the vast deserts of Mesopotamia, from where some of the earliest civilizations sprung, arises a tale that transcends cultures in millennia: the Anunnaki. These enigmatic beings, recorded in ancient Sumerian, Akkadian, Assyrian, and Babylonian texts, are at the heart of a debate. To some, they are the legendary forebears of human civilization. To others, extraterrestrial visitors. But who were the Anunnaki, and how have they become embroiled in theories of alien astronauts? The Sumerians, thriving between 4500 and 2000 BC in what is now modern-day Iraq, are credited with many firsts in human civilization, from writing to advanced astronomy. Their cuneiform script, etched into clay tablets, has provided historians a window into their beliefs, daily lives, and cosmic understanding, and they were the first to describe the Anunnaki. These deities, often mentioned in various texts, were believed to be descendants of the sky god An and his consort Ki. Collectively, they formed part of the hierarchy of gods, responsible for creating humans and overseeing the cosmos. Figures like Enki, Enlil, and Inanna stood at the forefront, each possessing distinct domains and tales of their interactions with humans. For instance, Enki was the god of water and wisdom. He was often depicted as a beneficial figure, providing humanity with knowledge. In contrast, Enlil, the god of air and storms, sometimes had more tumultuous relations with humans, as seen in myths where he attempts to wipe out humanity with the deluge. The intriguing dimension to the Anunnaki narrative arises from modern interpretations, primarily propelled by authors like Zecharia Sitchin. In his works, such as The 12th Planet, Sitchin posited that the Anunnaki were not just mythical gods, but were, in fact, extraterrestrial visitors. Based on his interpretations of Sumerian texts and Mesopotamian iconography, he claimed these beings hailed from a distant planet called Nibiru. Sitchin's theories propose that these extraterrestrial Anunnaki visited Earth in search of gold and other resources. They then created humans through genetic manipulation to serve as laborers in their mining operations. While these ideas are fascinating and have gained a following, they are not accepted by mainstream scholars and archaeologists, who typically view Sitchin's interpretations as speculative at best. Wanjana. Deep within the rugged terrains of Australia's Kimberley region, on the weathered surfaces of ancient caves and rock shelters, are the mysterious Wanjana petroglyphs. Depicting hauntingly ethereal faces, these ancient rock art images, created by the region's indigenous peoples, have long fascinated archaeologists. The Wanjana are ancestral spirits and rainmakers in the mythology of the local indigenous groups, including the Warora, Garinyan, and Wunambal. The art showcases human-like figures adorned with halo-like headpieces, devoid of a mouth, but possessing large, expressive eyes. The distinct artistic style of the Wanjana, with their ghostly white faces and lack of mouths, is deeply symbolic. The absence of mouths, as local narratives suggest, is because the Wanjana are so powerful that they don't require speech. They communicate through thoughts and dreams. According to tribal lore, these beings came from the sky to create the land and its inhabitants. When their work was done, they descended into the earth, watching over the people. Tribal beliefs persist that the paintings must be refreshed to continue the cycle of seasons and fertility. In recent years, these petroglyphs have been thrust into the limelight of popular culture due to the potential connections between the Wanjana and extraterrestrials. Proponents of ancient astronaut theories postulate that these images are evidence of early human contact with beings from another world. They draw parallels between the Wanjana's halo-like headdresses and modern depictions of astronauts' helmets. The tales of them descending from the sky further fuel this extraterrestrial hypothesis. Mainstream archaeologists and historians remain skeptical about the extraterrestrial theory. They point out that the Wanjana petroglyphs, like other indigenous art around the world, are rich with symbolic and spiritual meaning specific to the culture from which they originated. These artworks represent the indigenous population's deep understanding and connection to the land, weather, and the seasons. Vimanas. Described in ancient Sanskrit texts, incredible sky chariots called Vimanas were said to navigate the heavens, emitting bright lights and melodic sounds. These descriptions sound eerily familiar for people of modern times, armed with sci-fi literature and tales of unidentified flying objects. Could it be that our ancestors witnessed what we now label as UFOs? India's rich history spans thousands of years, with its pantheon of gods, heroes, and intricate epics. The subcontinent is home to diverse ancient scriptures, the Vedas, the Puranas, and the epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata. It was in these texts, written in classical Sanskrit, that the concept of Vimanas first emerged. In the most literal sense, Vimana translates to having been measured out or traversing. In religious and mythological contexts, it denoted the palaces of deities, and more notably, their flying chariots. These chariots were often depicted as resplendent, multi-storied flying palaces, equipped with weapons and capable of traversing vast distances, even between worlds. The description of Vimanas, found particularly in the Vimana Shastra, a text supposedly documenting the craft's construction and flight principles, fuels such speculations. Here, Vimanas are not just spiritual vehicles, but technologically advanced machines with details about propulsion, maneuvering, and even combat capabilities. Some Vimanas had wings and flew with bird-like mechanisms, while others levitated off the ground without visible means of propulsion. Modern enthusiasts often draw parallels between these accounts and reported UFO sightings, suggesting that what ancient Indians saw as divine chariots might have been extraterrestrial spacecraft. They cite similarities like the radiant light emitted by both Vimanas and UFOs, their ability to move swiftly in any direction, and the claims of advanced technology that defies current understanding. Theories propose that these gods were in fact aliens, visiting, guiding, and perhaps even intermingling with ancient humans. While it's tempting to make extraterrestrial connections, many scholars emphasize the importance of cultural context. To the ancients, the skies were both a tangible realm, the domain of birds and clouds, and an intangible one, home to gods and celestial spirits. Their depictions of Vimanas might represent a fusion of observed natural phenomena, spiritual beliefs, and imaginative storytelling. There's also skepticism regarding the age and authenticity of the Vimana Shastra. While it claims ancient origins, most historians date its composition to the early 20th century, casting doubts over its reliability as an authentic ancient resource. Which of these artifacts is most likely connected to extraterrestrial contact? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching Dark 5. Like and subscribe to continue exploring the greatest mysteries of this world and beyond.